Algebra 1, 6-6, Systems of Inequalities. So we've been talking about systems of equations, which are two lines or more on the same coordinate plane. And now we are going to have two inequalities on the same coordinate plane, and we are going to solve those. Solve meaning, well, we're going to find the intersection, and then since these are inequalities, we're going to find much more than that. So here's how we do this. First, we graph both of these lines. So let's see, for this one, we start at 1. Let's just make a few points here. So 1, and then my slope here is -2/1, so I go down 2 to the right 1. So down 1, 2 to the right 1, down 1, 2 to the right 1, and that's enough. Now, this is not or equals to, so this line here that I'm drawing looks like this, but it needs to be dotted because the values on this line are not included. It's not or equals to. Now y is greater than this line, so I'm going to shade above it. I'm not going to get super dark here, and you'll see why in a second. Now let's draw the next one here. At 3 is my y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, y equals 3. There's my y-intercept. When x is 0, y is 3, right? Now my slope is 1/1, so I go up 1 to the right 1. So from 3, I go up 1 to the right 1. Now I'm seeing that that's not really going to help me show my my intersection here, so I'm going to go down 1 to the left 1, and down 1 to the left 1 as well. Now here's my line, and I need to decide, is this going to be solid or dotted? It's or equals to, so what the values on this line are included in my solution, so I make it solid. Now y is less than, so now I'm going to shade underneath, and you see here this area right here where the two converge or overlap. This is your solution, including the points that are on this line here that are greater than this line here. So here is your solution right there, that part that's double shaded. Let's do another one. So I've got y is greater than 4 and 3x plus y is less than 2. All right, let's start my coordinate plane. Ooh, not awesome. Okay. Okay, so let's, y is greater than 4. So let's find 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We draw a line here at 4. It's or equals to, so that means the values on this line are included in my solution. Y is greater than 4, so I'm going to shade above it. Not too heavy-handedly. Now I need to graph this guy. In order to graph this, I'm going to change it to slope-intercept form, so I need to subtract 3x from each side. Y is less than or equal to -3x plus 2. Now I'm going to go up 2. There's my y-intercept. And then my slope is -3/1. So down 3 to the right 1, or up 3 to the left 1. Because those are both the same. So if I go down 3, 1, 2, 3 to the right 1, then you can see I'm not going to intersect up here. So I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3 to the right, to the left 1. So there's my point there. So now this or equals to, so that means my line should be solid. Comes down like that at that angle. And now y is less than this line, so I'm going to shade underneath this line, and here is my solution. All right, let's have you do a couple on your own. You try. Y is less than or equal to 3, and x plus y is greater than or equal to 1. And let's do another one here. 2x plus y is greater than or equal to 2, and 2x plus y is less than or equal to 4. Okay, so I highly recommend that for this inequality here and for these two, that you first subtract this x from both sides, subtract these two x's from both sides, so that you can get these equations or inequalities in slope-intercept form. So I highly suggest that you do that first, and then graph these. So go ahead and pause and get to work on these two systems of inequalities. All right, see how you did? Here is my coordinate plane. I'm going to subtract x from both sides, so I have y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 1. So here's my one inequality and here's my other one. And I'm going to graph this one. I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3. Y is less than 3, but first let's draw the y line here. Y is less than 3, so I'm going to shade underneath. And now I've got y is greater than negative x plus 1. So here's plus 1. There's my y-intercept. And then my slope is negative 1 over 1. So down 1 to the right 1, or up 1 to the left 1, because that's the way I want to go. So up 1 to the left 1, up 1 to the left 1. And then, so there's my points there. And then, or equals to, so this is going to be a solid line. And let's see, y is greater than, so I'll shade above, and here's where the two inequalities overlap, so there is my solution. Let's look at this next one. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides of both of these, so I'm just going to rewrite this as if I did that. So minus 2x, minus 2x, minus 2x, minus 2x. So I'm going to just rewrite that underneath here. So y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 2. That's the one on the top. And then y is less than negative 2x plus 4. So there's my system of inequalities that I'm going to be graphing now. Okay, let's make some delineations on this one. Okay, here we have positive 2, so there's my point of 0, positive 2, that's my y-intercept. And then both of these have the same slope, which is negative 2 over 1, which is down 2 to the right 1. So I'm going to go down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, and that's good for what we're doing here. So I'm going, and that's the one that's on top here. And so that's going to be a solid or a dotted line. I have to decide, is this going to be a solid line or a dotted line? And since it's or equals to, I need a solid line because that means that the solution is included in that line. Now this second one here, I go up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my y-intercept. And the slope is the same. Down 2 to the right 1. Down 2 to the right 1. And so these lines are parallel to one another. And I already started dotting this one. It needs to be dotted because it's not or equals to, so the solution is not included. Dotted. Okay. Now, for this plus 2 one, that's this one right here. Y is greater than, so I'm going to shade up above. And for this plus 4 inequality, y is less than, so I'm going to shade down below. And they overlap right here in the middle, so I'm just going to shade in the middle That is the solution. All right, we're going to do 3 more. Another U try, all right. 3x minus y is greater than or equal to 2, and 3x minus y is less than negative 5. Okay, so you've got negative y's here, so be careful. Remember, when you multiply or divide with an inequality here, and you multiply or divide by a negative number from both sides, that you have to flip that sign. Okay, so go ahead and do this U try, and then we'll look at it together. Okay, pause and get to work. All right, let's see how you did. Let's rewrite these. I'm going to draw my graph, the start of my graph over here. Now, I need to subtract 3x from this, 3x. And looks like it's not going to be quite as easy as it was before on the last one. So if I subtract 3x from both of these, I have y, negative y is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 2. Now I need to multiply everything by negative 1. And so I have y, positive y, is less than or equal to, remember I need to switch the sign because I multiplied by a negative 1, 3x minus 2. Okay, so there's one inequality that I'm going to graph. Now let's look at this other one. I'm subtracting 3x from both sides, and I end up with negative y is less than negative 3x minus 5. Again, I need to multiply everything by negative 1. What I do to the left, I do to the right. Y is greater than, I switch my sign because I multiplied by a negative 1, 3x plus 5. So those are my two inequalities that I'm going to graph now. So I go, let's do this one first. So I go down to negative 2, and then I go up 3 to the right 1. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. Or equals to, so I'm going to have a solid line. And it's y is less than, so I'm going to shade underneath. Now let's graph this one. This one starts at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And same slope, up 3 to the right 1, but there's no more room up here, so I'm going to go down 3 to the right 1, down 3 to the right 1. And this should be parallel, and it is not or equals to, so this should be a dotted line. I should be drawing this left to right, but I'm drawing it right to left, sorry. Okay, so these are parallel. They don't look totally parallel on your screen, but there's parallel for reals. Y is greater than, so now I'm going to shade to the left, or above, not to the left, above. So this one is shaded below, this one is shaded above. Notice how they don't meet anywhere. These are parallel, so these are never going to overlap anywhere. If that happens, no solution is the answer to your inequality. They never overlap, therefore there is no solution. All right, we got 2 more U tries. U try, y is greater than 3 and y is less than 1. Also, U try, x plus 6y is less than or equal to 6, and y is greater than or equal to negative 1/6 x plus 7. Okay, 2 U tries. They might both end up with no solution. I don't remember. Go ahead and try both of these, and we'll work them out together in a minute. Pause and go. All right, let's do this first U try. Okay, y equals 3 is right here. I go up 1, 2, 3, but I'm going to put some delineations on the graph so we don't get confused what's a line and what's the x and y axis. So we go up to 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we draw a line here, and should it be solid or dotted? It should be dotted. Okay, that's y is greater than 3. So y is greater than 3, I'm going to shade above it. Y is less than 1, so here's 1, and it's less than, so that one's going to be dotted as well. Dotted, dotted, dotted. Y is less than 1. Y is less than 1. And then I'm going to shade underneath because y is less than. Look, no solution. Okay, let's do one more. Hopefully you can see that, okay? Okay, one more. I'm going to change this to be in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides to start with, and then I've got 6y is less than or equal to negative x plus 6. Then I'm going to divide everything by 6. And so I've got y is less than or equal to negative 1/6 x plus 1. Okay, so here's an inequality, and here's my other inequality. Anytime you look at your inequalities and you find out that they have the same slope, there's that means that they are parallel to one another as long as they have a different y-intercept. And if they are parallel to each other with the same with a different y-intercept, there's a good chance it's going to look something like this, or it could look like this, or it could look one other way, but either way, a lot of times on the test, or on the homework, they'll probably look like this. But you got to check, you got to do the work. So I'm going to go up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 is here. Negative 1/6, so negative 1, positive 6. Down 1 to the right, 6. Down 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another point, and it's or equals to, so we're going to have a solid line. And then we've got the same line, but starting down here at positive 1. Down 1 to the right, 6. Down 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another solid line, because it's or equals to, so this is included in the solution. All right, so those are two lines that are parallel, even though they might not look like it. For this first one, that's at 7, and this one is at 1. So the one at 7, y is greater than or equal to, so we shade above. For the one that starts at 1 here, the y-intercept of 1, doesn't really start there, but that's the y-intercept. Y is less than, so I shade underneath. And so this one, again, just like those last few, is no solution. And that is the end of 6-6. Good luck on the homework. Get ready for the test coming up.